The story of Brian Chesky and Airbnb is one of perseverance, innovation, and resilience. What started as a small idea to earn rent money became a global phenomenon that disrupted the hospitality industry. But before reaching success, Chesky and his co-founders faced financial struggles, investor rejections, and regulatory battles. Brian Chesky was born in 1981 in Niskayuna, New York. As a child, he was obsessed with design and creativity, often sketching new product ideas and reimagining existing objects. His parents were both social workers, and while they valued traditional careers, Brian was drawn to entrepreneurship. He loved sports, art, and problem-solving, which later influenced his approach to business. Chesky enrolled at Rhode Island School of Design, RISD, to study industrial design. This decision was unconventional. Most people didn't see design as a path to business success. But their Chesky had some key moments. Met Joe Gebbia, his future co-founder and roommate. Developed a passion for creating functional yet beautiful products, learned that great design is about solving problems, a lesson that later shaped Airbnb's success. After graduating, Chesky and Gebbia moved to San Francisco in search of opportunities, chasing the startup dream. However, they soon realized that they had no steady jobs. They couldn't afford rent. They were completely broke. That's when opportunity knocked in an unexpected way. San Francisco was hosting a major design conference, and hotels were fully booked. Seeing a chance to make money, Chesky and Gebbia came up with a crazy idea. What if we rent out air mattresses in our apartment to visitors? They quickly set up a basic website called Airbed and Breakfast. Offered 3 spots on air mattresses in their living room. Promised free breakfast and a unique local experience. The result, 3 people booked: an Indian businessman, a woman from Boston, and a father from Utah. Airbnb's first guests had arrived. The experiment proved that people were willing to stay in strangers' homes if the price was right. Encouraged by their first success, Chesky and Gebbia, along with their new co-founder Nathan Blecherczyk, officially launched the Airbnb website in 2008. Their first big test was the Democratic National Convention in Denver. Thousands of people needed a place to stay, so they marketed Airbnb as an alternative to hotels. The outcome: some people booked, but demand died down after the event. Once the convention ended, nobody cared about Airbnb. The company was on the verge of collapse. The Airbnb founders were broke, struggling to afford even basic necessities. However, a crazy cereal box idea saved Airbnb. With credit card debt piling up, Chesky and his team came up with a bizarre but brilliant marketing stunt: Obama O's and Captain McCain's limited edition cereal boxes. They designed and sold custom cereal boxes based on the 2008 US presidential election. The boxes were sold for $40 each, covered in creative branding and political humor, aimed at raising quick cash for Airbnb. They made tens of thousands of dollars, just enough to keep Airbnb running. Creativity and persistence can save a failing startup. With a working website and real users, the Airbnb team pitched their idea to investors. But the response was brutal. They were rejected over 20 times. Investors didn't think strangers would trust each other. One investor said, "This idea will never work. No one will stay in a stranger's house." Airbnb was running out of options. Airbnb's biggest break came when they were accepted into Y Combinator, a startup accelerator program, in 2009. What they got from Y Combinator: mentorship from startup experts. A small investment to improve Airbnb. A chance to meet top Silicon Valley investors. This program transformed Airbnb, giving them the resources to finally scale their idea. One of the biggest challenges was convincing people that Airbnb was safe. To fix this, they introduced verified user profiles and reviews, secure payment systems, a host guarantee for damages. These changes built trust, and bookings started skyrocketing. By 2011, over 1 million nights booked worldwide. Expanded to cities like New York, Paris, and London. Attracted major investors, including Andreessen Horowitz. Airbnb was no longer a crazy idea, it was the future of travel. Airbnb's early journey was filled with failures, rejections, and financial struggles. But through creativity, perseverance, and smart problem-solving, Brian Chesky and his team turned Airbnb into a global movement. So, how Airbnb became a multi-billion-dollar company? By 2010, Airbnb was expanding rapidly, but one of the biggest hurdles was earning trust from potential guests and hosts. Initially, the idea of staying in someone else's home was a hard sell. Key trust solutions, verified profiles and reviews. Airbnb introduced a robust review system that allowed both guests and hosts to rate each other. This provided transparency and reassurance for first-time users. Secure payments and host guarantees. A secure payment system was implemented, along with a host guarantee that protected hosts in case of damages. These measures helped establish Airbnb as a safe, reliable platform. This focus on trust was key to Airbnb's growth and helped them onboard more users globally. By 2011, Airbnb was growing beyond San Francisco and expanding internationally. Cities like New York, Paris, and London became key destinations for Airbnb listings. Airbnb was not just offering a place to stay but also positioning itself as a way to experience a destination like a local. This unique selling proposition resonated with travelers who were looking for more authentic and affordable experiences. The company focused on user-centric design and local partnerships, fostering an active community of hosts and guests who shared a passion for travel and exploration. The company attracted major investments, including a notable $112 million round from Andreessen Horowitz in 2011. This financial backing allowed Airbnb to scale quickly. With the investments came media attention, and by 2012, the company was valued at $1 billion, making it one of the first unicorns in the travel tech space. The buzz surrounding Airbnb continued to grow as more people learned about its innovative approach to travel and lodging. By 2015, Airbnb had become a household name. Its listings had grown exponentially, and millions of people around the world were booking stays through the platform. The company also diversified its offerings, with Airbnb Experiences allowing guests to book local tours, activities, and experiences hosted by locals. This expansion into experiences helped cement Airbnb as more than just a place to stay. It was now a way to fully immerse oneself in a destination. As Airbnb grew, it faced fierce opposition from the hotel industry and city governments. Many cities, particularly in Europe and the US, saw Airbnb as a threat to the traditional hotel model. As Airbnb's platform grew, they had notable legal battles. New York City. In 2010, Airbnb faced major pushback from New York City's local government, which introduced new regulations to curb illegal short-term rentals. The city argued that Airbnb hosts were operating illegal hotels, and fines were imposed on hosts violating zoning laws. San Francisco, Airbnb's home base, also passed legislation in 2014 that required hosts to register with the city. This created friction, but it pushed Airbnb to take a more proactive approach in working with cities to craft fair regulations. With Airbnb growth, they were also having occasional incidents of unsafe or unpleasant stays, including reports of theft, property damage, and unsafe living conditions. Airbnb responded by strengthening its host verification process, improving safety features, and offering 24/7 customer support. They also introduced a $1 million host guarantee to protect hosts in case of damages, but the platform continued to face scrutiny over these safety concerns. Despite the backlash, Chesky and his team fought hard to defend the legitimacy of Airbnb. They began partnering with regulators and cities to work on creating solutions that would allow Airbnb to thrive while complying with local laws. One of Airbnb's key strategies was to focus on the community. The company's "Belong Anywhere" slogan resonated with both travelers and hosts, creating a deep sense of loyalty and connection. Airbnb wasn't just a business, it was an idea that connected people through shared experiences. In early 2020, the COVID-19 pandemic decimated the travel and hospitality industries. With borders closing, airlines grounding planes, and cities going into lockdown, Airbnb faced an existential crisis. Mass cancellations. Airbnb faced tens of thousands of cancellations, and its bookings plummeted. With travel restricted and in-person experiences no longer viable, Airbnb needed to adapt quickly to survive. To respond to the pandemic, Airbnb pivoted by focusing on domestic travel and long-term stays. People were no longer traveling internationally, but many wanted a change of scenery or a quiet place to work remotely. The company also introduced enhanced cleaning protocols and a flexible cancellation policy to accommodate travelers' new needs. Despite the challenges, Airbnb survived the pandemic and even went public in December 2020, with a successful IPO that valued the company at over $100 billion. With Airbnb's IPO and its recovery from the pandemic, the company is now focused on scaling further while maintaining its commitment to the community. Chesky has expressed a desire to make Airbnb more inclusive, focusing on creating opportunities for underrepresented groups to become hosts. He also aims to make Airbnb an even more essential part of travel by expanding into new areas like luxury stays and sustainable travel. As the world continues to evolve, Airbnb's role as a leader in travel technology seems assured. Chesky has said that the future of travel will be driven by a mix of local experiences and remote work opportunities, and Airbnb is positioning itself as the platform to facilitate that change. From the brink of collapse to becoming one of the most valuable companies in the world, Airbnb's journey has been nothing short of extraordinary. Through perseverance, adaptation, and a relentless belief in their vision, Brian Chesky and his team turned a small startup into a global powerhouse that revolutionized travel. But the story of Airbnb is far from over. As the company continues to evolve and grow, it will undoubtedly shape the future of how we travel, connect, and experience the world.